I do believe we are live. So I'll say indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and only friend. Danny Chardine's sister is here. They're gonna be staying with us for a little bit. And we're here for another conscious evolution. Thank you, friends, for joining me. I love you. Today's stream topic is about knowing people by name versus knowing them versus actually knowing them, right? Or someone might in a passing conversation say to you, you know so and so, and you might be like, I know about so and so, I know said so and so exists, but I wouldn't say I know so and so, you know. And then in that spirit, I want to talk today about whether or not we can know so and so and all. Do you know me? Is the question I ask very directly. Do you know me? Do I know me? Onomatopoeia? I don't know why I went with that one. I don't know. I would like to believe I know me. But it is one of those things where that which is known changes. In some ways, at least. Right? Especially when it comes to yourselves. Like your needs, the the way you choose to be, the circumstances of your reality. Like I'm seeing a quail. No, that's a hawk. That's a type of hawk. I'm seeing hawks land in my field of vision, and that changes me. I don't know that hawk. I don't know who that hawk is. Right? I don't know that hawk's name. That hawk's family story. I don't know what that hawk's hopes and dreams are. What I do know, however, is that hawk probably kills things to continue existing. Right? And in its world, that's not exactly something that's inappropriate. Right? It's pretty normal for the hawk to kill things. As it's normal for that donkey to scream his lungs out. Right? And in that way, there's this thing that you can know about this hawk, that if you had to follow that hawk's POV day in, day out, you'll probably see a bunch of things get murdered. Right? Talons swooping down, ripping little creatures from their existences. And that might make you think and feel a certain way about those hawks, about that hawk, right? You might start thinking you know them. You might start thinking you know what's gonna happen next. You might start thinking that uh, there is nothing that's gonna surprise you necessarily in that experience, right? But I feel in me trying to make this simple example of what knowing means and how knowing changes when you know more, right? I feel like us human beings are so complex that it's almost impossible to apply that same line of reasoning to our reality at large. Do you know me? Do you know me? When I ask you that question, what are you thinking? Like I really am curious. Do you think, yeah, you're Melkmore? Do you think you're that guy that does this and that? Do you think some guy in South Africa? When I think who am I, what do I think? I think about the way I make people feel. I think about the way people respond to my work. I think about the way I go about doing things. I think about my ambitions, my hopes and dreams. I think those are the things that, at least in some part, define who I am to myself. But who I am might be different to another person. Especially if they see me swoop down and use my talons to rip a little creature from their existences. Right? Do you know what I'm saying? Do I know what I'm saying? Hey, Kristen, it's nice having you here. Please send good vibes. Struggling to keep up at work, hence my absence here. Lurkin. I'm imagining you getting everything done. Finishing up with all of your work at the end of the day and getting to breathe a sigh of relief. A deep sense of calm permeating every cell of your being. A deep relaxation washing over you like you stepped underneath a warm waterfall. Tranquility abounds as you hear the trees rustle and little froggies sing their songs and little crickets make their presence known. That's my prayer for you. Did you ask for prayer? Sending good vibes. That's my good vibes sent to you, Kristen. Love the visualization. Thank you. Thank you for being here to listen with me. I have some jelly. I have some hella jelly in here. I really like this strain. It's tasty. But it is getting baked faster than I want it to be. Love is true. Mmm. Yes. Quite delectable. This one is very blueberry-esque as well. If you're like, what does it taste like? Just imagine like the flavor you get from blueberries. And maybe if you were like making candy that was supposed to be blueberry flavored. That's what this tastes like. Last heat. This might be too much, but there we go. Love is true. That should do. Oh, there it comes. Yeah. Do you know me? Do you know who you are? When I ask you, who are you? What are you gonna tell me? Are you gonna tell me your name? Are you gonna tell me your occupation? Are you gonna tell me the role you play? Are you gonna tell me the things you like doing? And I think maybe it depends. I'm asking all of these questions like it's, what are you gonna choose? But no, I think it's more like depending on the situation, you're gonna choose differently. So maybe I should rephrase it in that way. And in this space, knowing what you know about this space, knowing what you know about me, knowing what you know about what I believe, knowing that I know that you probably know some of the same things that I do. Who are you? Who are you? You know, and I feel using your name might be a way to start. Might be a way to start. Saying your name. I am Meltmore. My friends call me Melt. It is a reminder and a call to awareness. As my ego gets addressed, it gets addressed with the only instruction that it technically needs to heed, and that is the dissolution of it. Melt your ego. Right? Because in that way, you might know who I am, or at least think you do. Maybe that is why I'm bringing this topic up. You might know who you think I am, right? I melt more of a particular variety. The ego that is melt more that existed in the year 2020, and the ego that exists as melt more in the year 2024. Still, technically, both of those people are called Meltmore, yet you wouldn't know them, right? Maybe you would. Maybe you would. Maybe. But I don't actually think so. And then, after all of, right, and all of this change that I've been through as that you can consider in some ways gradual, right? I have changed a lot, but it's been over the span of like going on 4 years now, right? Right? Yeah. Yeah, going on 4 years now. But I might go through an experience that changes me, right? Maybe I go through an extreme ego death, one way or another. And then that ego death might change the level of self confidence I have. It might change the level of emphasis I place on certain topics, certain passions of mine. It might change the amount of ambition I have to do certain things. It might change my values and what I believe is love or not. Right? And then I might change so radically that you, despite me looking the same, despite me having the same name, I become someone completely else. Right? And I feel like that's maybe the thing about today's stream topic that gets me the most is that not only is it so hard for you to know a person, but that person will change. I wanted to say can change, but that person will change. Some change more radically than others, but that person will change. And all of us can change for the better, can change for the worse. Maybe it's an ebb and flow. Maybe you don't just continue changing for the better indefinitely. Maybe you have to hit your head a few times to learn how not to. But in that, I feel the willingness to show up again with one another is something we can know, right? That I have opened the space to us as friends, and I have made the commitment to continue doing that. You know, uh, I might not have any knowing, right? I don't know that anybody is gonna show up for these streams. In fact, my ego is trying to convince me more and more people don't want to, right? It's like a nagging, and I'm like, yeah, it's fine, that's fine too. And it is this again, like a knowing thing, right? Like I know what I'm supposed to do, kind of vibe. And if I do that, I don't know what will come of it. But I do know that I would have shown up nonetheless. Like I maybe sound a little bit scattered, but the thing I'm trying to say is despite us not really ever knowing each other, we can and we are showing up for this process of discovery. And I appreciate that. I am on 44% battery, and it is the 11th, so just some synchronicities on the screen that I'm noticing right now. Let me open chat. Sending lovin's to you, Duck Dad, and Sam and Nancy. It's nice having you friends here. I know you are more, and your dream is to ride four-wheel EUC. A car, you say? Nope. A custom four-wheel unicycle. Bro, Dad, it's so weird and synchronous how you happen to bring up EUCs when they're very fresh in my mind as well. You know, like I go through these ebbs and flows where I stop thinking about EUCs because I can't afford them right now, right? So thinking about this thing that I can't have just causes me suffering because I want it to be differently. I want to have the money to be able to afford stuff like that, and I don't. So I'm like, eh. So I don't. And then sometimes, I watch a video. Right. Today's video was a guy uh, basically riding these relatively cheap electric motorcycles. And then past him comes a person on the EUC. So I wasn't even watching EUC content, dude. I wasn't even watching EUC content. And then I see this dude zipping past him on the EUC, and he says, while on a two-wheel motorcycle, the EUC guys are the most insane when it comes to the electric vehicle universe. And it just felt like, yeah, that seems right on par for my character type and my personality. The most insane option. Yes, give me please. Me give. You give me orange. Me eat orange. You give me eat orange. Give me you. Right? So and then you come with the EUC fractal. I do still want one, bro. They're making them cheaper. They're making the smaller ones now cheaper. They're only like $2,000. They're gonna keep getting cheaper though. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to them being like technologically really stable. Like, and when I say that, it basically means to me low maintenance. I don't want to touch it. I just want to write it. That sounds like such a bad quote. Jeez, I retract that statement. I don't want to have to open my wheel up and, work on it on the inside, do surgery on my wheel. I just want to go on adventures with my wheel. That sounds better, yeah. Better contrast, right? Surgery versus adventure. One, oh, surgery. Other smiles and fun, right? Where was I going with this? Where was I going? Somewhere was being gone. Oh yeah. And then also, on top of the low maintenance fractal, I would like it to have like an output, a proper output, not just Type C outputs. I want to be able to power a Starlink off of it if I want to. Then, and when I say, I mean I can technically power more of it. Then it basically becomes a buffer, a uninterruptible power supply as well. Not only is the wheel that I can then ride anywhere, but on top of that wheel is a stack of batteries that I can connect to my technology out in the middle of nowhere if I need the juice to. So, yeah, they're not there quite yet. They are there, relatively speaking, with like Type C's and USBs, but I need more energy than that. And they have more than enough energy to give me, they just don't do that yet. Because again, it's a inverter thing. Yeah. And that takes up space. And right now there's not that much space to spare. I'm like I'm like building an EUC in my mind, and I'm seeing the batteries, and I'm seeing the compartment for all of the motherboards and the electronics and the MOSFETs, and then I'm just like slapping another inverter on top of all of that stuff, and they don't like it. They told me. They're like, bro, it's cramped in here, dude. Please. Tristan, vibes coming your way. I also have a challenging day ahead of me at work. Bless you. May you not only keep up but thrive, dear friends. Personally, for me, it's easier to keep some of that to myself. Shrek yells donkey that tells donkey that ogres are like onions, in that every layer is just more ogre. Every layer of Sam is spicy and ogre. I relate to that, but mine would more be like an infinite cocoon, right? Like I am this entity that evolves and then cocoons itself, and then comes out of that cocoon until I evolve, and then I go back into a cocoon, and then I come out of cocoon, and then I evolve, and then go back into cocoon. Same, but different, but still same. Well, I know my projection of you based on what you choose to present, and from time to time unconsciously present itself. Hmm. Is it a good projection, Nancy? You do come back. You do come back. So maybe it's not a bad projection. But like there is maybe I don't want to know kind of vibes, right? Someone sends me in chat, yeah, Melt, I watch your stream to kind of like touch grass kind of vibes. Get back to reality because you're so not in reality that I feel like I got like some handle on my shit when I watch your content. And to that I'd be like, that's fair. That's kind of fair. Video to you, vibes to you as well, bless. You got a $4,000 dentist bill for duckling last night. Can't afford air at the moment. Just got a $4,000 dentist bill. Oh, EUC content. There is actual EUC content. Don't laugh. There's like literal creators that are making bank. You know, creating content purely for EUC watchers. I don't want to touch it. Just write it. Yeah, that's a bad line. Why would you quote that, bro? Come on, oh, come on. That's not fair, Duck Dad. Got me a break, dude. Yeah, knowing thyself, right? I know myself, uh, and I well at least I think I know myself, and in that thinking of knowing myself, I trust that I will find great enjoyment in the mobility something like that will bring me. I have always loved motorcycles, but I have always driven them relatively aggressively. Why, you ask? Because it's fun. Yeah, I don't know why it's fun for me to risk my life, but it is definitely something that we human beings have inside of us. So again, based on this knowing of myself, I don't. I don't do that. I'm like, no. How about don't risk your life to have fun? So I drive a car very conservatively, right? Again, usually because I'm driving with other people as well, so it's an added layer of, consideration. And then the whole having only one wheel thing. You're like, oh, surely Mel, you're gonna be less conservative if you're riding only on one wheel. And apparently, relative speed feels faster because you're only on one wheel. And because of the kind of like penduluming effect of it, you end up getting what you want from your riding experience without having to go as fast as you do on a traditional vehicle. Right. Hey, Joy Beat is here with us too. Bless you, Joy. It's nice having you. Yeah. So in my mind, that's like, oh, I get to have that freedom, that experience of going on an adventure out into the world, while at the same time not really going faster than 50 to 60 kilometers an hour. And I mean, you going down to the ground at 50 to 60 kilometers an hour isn't exactly like a clear sign that you're going to be okay. But it is better. It is better than going 200, right? So, you know. Mel, I'm at a stage where I'm way more selective with how I spend my time. So being with you is a positive choice. Thank you, Nancy. That means a lot. And I respect that a lot as well. And I get that from the perspective of, you know, the people that find themselves in this space. That all of us only have so much time, and this might be early in some ways, or maybe this time is being filled with something else right now. All of the friends I've known in this space, right? Maybe that's the way I get to see it. When that name comes back into this space, I get to acknowledge and recognize and celebrate that energy. I don't know them any less now that I'm not seeing them as much kind of vibe. Hey Shell, it's nice seeing you, friend. The 4,090 bucks for what? 90 bucks once you're at 40K. What's another 90 bucks? Man, she's 6 cavities, 3 molar, top and bottom, anesthesia, and a bunch of other crap. Goodness. That's a lot of cavities. She's still a 5-year-old, right? A 5-year-old, 6-year-old. So she hasn't gotten her real teeth yet. I never had any cavities myself. But I remember the process of ripping my own teeth out of myself. I remember that shit too clearly. Few of them, I did the whole door method where you tie a string. Few of them, I just went straight to a pair of pliers. We got money for our teeth as well. And it was like 5 rand. You could get like 5 rand. You're like, oh, 5 rand, $5? No. More like 50 cents. You get like 50 cents for a tooth. All right. And still, 50 cents was enough to buy you something. So when a tooth became relatively loose, was no longer affixed, I would just start. And they would come out. They would come out. And I would have 50 cents. Being a human being, bro. Having teeth is weird, still to me. Who thought it was a good idea, bro? I look like a monster as well. My freaking... Why do I have such long fangs? Like, why? Like, someone tell me, please. Like, it's kind of concerning. And then a part of me wants to lean into that joke, and make them longer as I get older. Just for the joke. Just for the joke. To make myself an actual vampire. Love is true. Will I recognize my future vampire self? 1,000-year-old Melt. I'm looking at him right now. I recognize him, but I don't know who he is. I don't know who that is. I would like to believe he's still a good guy. Right. Right? I'm still a good guy 1,000 years from now, right? It feels like I came back to being a good guy 1,000 years from now. Like I was bad guy for a while. And then I was like, okay. Okay, fine. I'll be good guy again. Right? And this, I don't know if any of that's true. I'm just saying it from this perspective of this fractal of knowing yourself even, of knowing others. Like it's a very, wacky one for me at least. My friends used to ask me what it was like to own a motorcycle that never went over 50 miles an hour. I drove my motorcycle like I knew it could kill me. No speeding for this duck. Yeah, I think for me it's one of those things where the motorcycle isn't the thing that would kill me. I would be the thing that kills me, right? And that's the thing I'm actually scared of. I should have like a black and white and like emo makeup. That's what I'm actually scared of. But it really is like that, right? So it's like a fractal of when you go faster, your reaction window becomes smaller, right? However, it is exhilarating moving fast. And it is exhilarating dodging objects. And it is exhilarating trying to keep your wheels on the road. Because most of my motorcycling has been off-road motorcycling. So even more aggressive, like your wheels actively are spinning out, right? Your tail end is actively coming out either left or right of you. It is very fun in that way, but it's not exactly the experience you usually drive in when it comes to like maybe like road driving and the speeds you'll reach if you're driving a fast motorcycle either. But again, for me, it's the reaction time thing, and then the fact that you're also competing with other people on the road, right? I have never, and I'm saying this very gratefully, thank you, universe. I have never gotten seriously hurt on a motorcycle. There was one moment that, like, when I say that, this moment comes up of like the most seriously hurt I ever got. Where driving said scrambler, like dirt bike, uh, and there's this like almost muscle memory that you build up to spin your wheel out when you accelerate and when you go around corners and stuff like that. Right? It's fun. It's fun feeling that slip. And then you try something like that and there's grass underneath your treads. And then instead of slipping out, because you're already leaning sideways, right? So you're slipping out, leaning sideways as you're going into a turn. Sideways lean, tries to slip out, and then your bike just goes like that. Yeah. And I did that, and of course I was already on that angle, so I fell like on my ass. The bike didn't fall on me. Again, didn't get that seriously hurt, but just falling on my ass and it not being fun, right? Like being in a state of pain where I'm like laying on the ground and I'm like, bro, like somebody kill me. Death is better kind of vibes. Of course not, but like you feel that way in that moment. And then like getting up, realizing that I don't have anything broken at least, and then you have to get the bike back home. So you have to get back on it. And my hips, my poor hips, like you have to step and then like step over the rest of the bikes. My poor hips are like, dude. But again, that was like the worst it ever got for me at least. And again, in that fractal, like it's you're the one that's responsible if you end up getting hurt in that way, because you're you versus the environment. Where with like roads and driving on public roads especially, it's you versus environment versus potential human stupidity, or just human rash instant decision making, right? Or like maybe a person, for instance, like this is a clear case. You're driving your motorcycle very fast. You have a line of sight, all right? You know exactly the trajectory you're going. A car is going on this side of the road. Your line of sighting. That car realizes as they're driving, oh, my turn is on that side of the road. Your line of sighting. They just turn right. You're into the back of them, right? Stuff like that. Mm, that's like the stuff of nightmares for me, man. So I don't wanna like, at least if I'm in a car, I can't go that fast. I can't accelerate that fast, at least not with our current technology. So I have no desire to close gaps. Like I still do the line of sight driving. I think it's one of those things that you learn. I think that's how you're supposed to do it, kind of vibe. Right? And when I say line of sight driving, I see a line in my sight all the way forward as to how I would drive. And depending on how fast things drive in front of me, you can like build lines like, yes, this truck is only now off of the line. I can technically go around and come back into the lane before they're going to be into the spot where the lane closes and there's no longer a gap for me. Right? And if I know my car is capable of it, I'll push that line because it saves me time. But it's not safe, right? It's not safe, technically speaking. What if my car transmission blows or something and then suddenly I'm hit by a truck? What if? What ifs? What ifs? What ifs? Having electric drivetrains makes it more safe as well. Yeah. Yeah, more incentives, I say, to future melt. Come on, bro. Mm. Kristen, you've got this. Werk. Werk, werk. Werk is out of Afrikaans word for work, so that does feel kind of funny. You get what you want for the riding experience without going as fast. Just means the fucker is unsafe. Yeah. Again, it's a time thing as well, bro. Like if I drive 100 miles an hour versus 40 miles an hour, I'm getting where I'm going faster. Also, as you said, unsafely, but it is one of those things where uh, we are irrational beings. And if you know yourself, you can not put yourself in that kind of situation. Some people know themselves and think, oh, I should put myself in this situation. And we live and we learn. All of us live and learn. Mm. Things I never want to hear when I drive. Ooh, the pendulum effect. Yeah, like the pendulum as in you are the pendulum. You lean forward, your vehicle goes forward. You lean back, your vehicle comes to a stop. You keep leaning back, your vehicle starts going backwards. That's actually how it works. You can literally do that. Like no buttons need to be switched, no reverse gear needs to be shifted. You start leaning backwards in an EUC, you're going backwards. And then you can go from that backwards back forwards and it will stop you going backwards and you'll start going forwards again. It's such a cool machine, dude. Like come on, back then. We can have some fun. Why do I have such long fangs? Both of your parents have some vampire ancestry that is now dominantly expressed in you. Oh, don't say stuff like that, Sam. Don't say stuff like that. You don't know me. You don't know me. Don't you stop. We could probably do her teeth for $1,000 cheaper without the anesthesia. But I'm not going to put the fear of pain into my 5-year-old that was put into me. It's my job to protect her. Yeah, that would be kind of rough, bro. Like having a person in your face, awake and there for the pain, is not something I think any person is ever ready for. Ever. Right? Like that's not something that I think can happen. I don't think I'm ready for something like that. So a 5-year-old definitely not. Thank you, Brother Bear, for taking her into consideration. I have never had dental work done other than cleaning without anesthesia. I can't even imagine. Yeah, for me, the most I've had done was cleaning as well, and even the cleaning was viscerally uncomfortable, and like something I was like still sensitive and like a week after as well. It was quite something. Mm. I have a dentist appointment on the 15th. That's 4 days from now, Joy V. Bless you. May it go well. Duck, isn't that bill before you submit it to insurance? We're probably gonna get some information now. Maybe. Maybe. I think there is, in some places, room for you to be like, hey, bro, give me the non-insurance prices as well. Is that true? I heard it on a YouTube video one day. You can tell me if it's true or not. You American friends with your interesting medical care systems. The insurance companies. So interesting how we think insurance company, right? Like maybe we can like talk about that for a second. Let's talk about any other company first. Let's think about technology companies. Nvidia. You think chips. You think graphics cards. You think robotics. you think rendering, right? You can see all of these things that it does for our species. And then maybe like even fast food. You think McDonald's and you think about the colors and about the food options and about the appeal. Maybe your childhood when you used to play in the ball pits, in the jungle gyms, right? And then let's think about insurance companies. And in my mind, it's just nothing. It's nothing but a kind of hope that something bad will happen. In a way, if you're the one that has the insurance, if you're the one that's been paying the insurance, there's kind of this fractal of being like, I hope this isn't for nothing. I hope paying this insurance is worth it. Am I tripping? Hey, it's nice seeing you, Jules. Sending you blessings. Let me try refreshing. I think this thing is stuck. There we go. Has anyone read anything good lately? Maybe Shell is going to recommend to you Atomic Habits. That's what she's been reading. And it has been one of those things that kind of, again, steered my mind in the right direction. Meltmore, insurance is protection against bad things happening. I know what insurance is. Thank you, Shell. Thank you. What I was saying is, when you think insurance, sure, you think it's protection against bad things happening, right? But what do you think about the insurance itself, right? Is there like a building in your mind? Do you see a certain type of people? Do you see a certain type of outfit? Do you see a certain type of day-to-day process? Right? In my mind, it's kind of nothing. It's kind of like a big nothing burger. It's like this big pretend. Like, and I wonder how much money there must be in it. I've never had the experience where insurance was not worth it. I've only had the experience where I wished I had insurance, but I'm older than you guys. This is true, Shell. I'm not saying I don't want insurance. It's quite the opposite of what I'm saying. What I'm saying is how ethereal, ephemeral maybe is the better word it is. It's like where is it? Where is all of this money? What is it doing in the meanwhile? How many people are gaming the system? Because we've been paying insurance, like renter's insurance. And you have to have a security system for it to be valid. And we had to install a security system on our own finances. And we were broken into twice. And both of those times, the security system at first wasn't installed, and the second time wasn't turned on. And the insurance is like, no, bro, can't help you, dude. Right? Like, the money was still paid, the things were still stolen, but then there's these technicalities. Some technicalities. What am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? I guess I'm trying to, again, with today's stream topic being identification, thinking you know something, right? I think that's the fractal that I'm kind of, like, is insurance good? Maybe that should be is it good or is it bad as a thing in our world? It's a hard question for me to answer. It's kind of like a concept, and based on that concept existing so prevalently in our society, it's made to be a good thing, kind of vibe. All right. Ooh, I finally read the 4 Agreements, and it has changed my life. Really clicked for me. Be impeccable with your word. Always try your best. Don't take things personally. You want to help me out? What's the last one? Those are 3 of the 4 agreements. Don't make assumptions. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Reminder for me too. Don't make assumptions. Such a good one as well. I feel like that's kind of ironic that that's the one I forgot because I do make assumptions. And I shouldn't. I shouldn't do that. When you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. My mom said that a lot to me as a child. Not as a, like, you're the one assuming, right? But just like, as like, there would be like the story that she like shares with me. And then, like, the moral of the story was when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. Right? And it was made very clear to me. It's made very clear to me. I mean, I got it as well. The way it's spelled and the way the letters break up. Locking that in my brain. Bless. Love is true. Thank you. Thank you for not assuming. I would know all of them and helping me. I've never had the experience, bless again. Insurance applies to things wearing out body mouth, so I need it. Yeah, that's true as well. But again, like because of the insurance existing, things are made to be more expensive than they actually need to be. So people that do not have the kind of money to be able to afford a monthly deduction from their capital because they do not have that level of stable income now suddenly is left with $4,000 bills for something that couldn't possibly cost that much. I continue. Well, yesterday I had an epiphany that I can use the atomic habits, 1% in adjusting my behavior and reacting to things that aggravate me too. I see my husband. My husband is in insurance. Checks out. Maybe you can teach me more than I know right now. Because I have like very limited experience with that fractal. Again, I think it's like a whole, contractual loophole paperwork thing as well. Like I have so little experience. Joy, the other day, bless you, Pojo, I read a book report from when I was in 3rd grade. Dude, that must have been a trip. Oh yeah, I've heard and heard, but never read. Love is true. Gateway. I've been trying to get a copy of Wabi Sabi by Corin without getting it through Amazon, but so far no luck. It's a book I'd like to have. Haven't checked the library. That could be the next option. How far away is it from you? 3rd grade that hasn't turned to dust. Yeah, exactly. Old photos and old books. And yes, some old school work still exists in the collective of old stuffs. Nancy, have you checked the used bookstores? There we go. Another good one as well. How long is the delay between when we type a comment and you see it on your side? Okay, so I'm gonna read the next comment that comes through instantaneously. So you can know. Some of you might have now sent something. Now, Purple Hippo, Boop, High Melt. There you go. That's how quick it is. Hey, John.
Do you need something from the shops except bread and milk and stuff?
Do I need something from the shops?
My mom wants to know where you got your sticks like glue.
I got it at the hardware shop, but we still have.
They were laughing so hard about it that she just wants to get more just to.
It's very expensive.
Give to people.
It's 117 rand a tube.
You'll see.
Yeah, it might be expensive gag gift. But it does. Like I bought a tube of glue that says sticks like shit
On the label.
on the label, yeah.
Even on the scanning label, I saw in their system, it's literally called like Evo something sticks like shit.
Yeah. It's like they think they like asterisk the eye out or something, but yeah. It's like a 10-second delay, 9 second for me. It's a bit. It's a bit. It's not forever. People were like trying to test how long the delay is between their messages and me actually seeing them.
Okay.
Joy Vive, Moe's, and Pegasus didn't have it. Moe's and Pegasus are guessing two book companies or bookstores. If you know another one to check, oh gosh, I just thought of one in downtown Berkeley after I typed that. I mean, there we go, that's one. My mom loved to say the as assumed thing, right? Yeah, half price. I think maybe they also like saw it, like someone explained it to them and they were like, oh, this is great. Like, I don't know if your mom said it to you as well, the whole when you assume you make an ass
Yes,
out
you
of
make it, yeah.
his mom too.
My mother just went the assumption is the mother of all.
Fuck-ups.
Yeah, that's more the one that
And that's also, yeah. I think my mom used that one with miscommunication.
Ah.
Yeah, it's the mother of all fuck-ups.
Het is een misverstand.
Yeah, but misverstand
is
comes from
Yes,
miscommunication.
yes.
The Trial by Ethan Gallery. Excellent fictional story of hiking a massive trail with a man dying of cancer. Super good. Does sound like quite a read. Well done, great mind and all that, man. Bless. I like the attitude of a challenging understanding of insurance. I did an exercise where tamarind seeds are currency and limitless. Made folks' head explode because they refuse to allow inflation. What? The tamarind seeds is currency and limitless, so you can just make more seeds by growing more plants, right? Kind of vibe, and in that way they're limitless. But that's literally what the banks are doing. They're just making more money as well, right? Like we're already inflationing. Is that what made their heads explode? They were like, no, you can't do that. And then you were like, but that's how it works right now. It works like that now. Necessity is the mother of invention is one of my favorites. I like that one too. Skibbity skip blow. Hey bro, it's nice having you, Mia. I vaped all of my bud, bro. It's a sad day. But I have some next to me. Wait a second. I think I stacked this, but I never ended up adding any heat to my system. So, boom. Lucky me. I'm going to vape this heat. Your hair looks good. Thank you, bro. Got that DNA spirals getting slowly 3D printed out of my scalp. You know, one of the biggest insecurities of my life is my hair, dude. And again, with this whole nature of like questioning, what is the attitude of challenging understanding, right? This one mushroom trip I had, where I was dancing, being on mushrooms or whatever, and then I felt like some sweat forming on my forehead, and as soon as I lifted my hands to my head, you know, I felt my hair, and then that feeling of my hair took me down this whole rabbit hole of other people can see my hair. And I was, you know, like it was hot, so my hair was getting like condensed with little, like as the moisture would build up, and it made me feel like an animal. It brought this real like, oh, I'm an animal. I'm some creature living on the earth's surface right now. And then I sat down with my friends and I tried to have this conversation with them about like challenging our understanding and our insecurities about hair and why. Like really why? Like who taught me how to trip out like that? Nobody needed to. Today's stream topic, Gabadigu, is about knowing ourselves, right? And knowing others. And then having these ideas in our minds when we think we know them. And how we change, right? And hair is one of those for me, where I'm kind of on the boat of like following Gob's suit, where if the day comes, where the day comes, I'm shaving my head, right? Like we're going all bald. I probably will have like headdresses that I'll rock every now and then as like style, but I will kind of commit to it as well in the same way. And in that way, I wonder about the perception, like the way people see you, right? What people see. And not from a place of like judgment for myself, because I think I have fortunately been exposed to the internet fractal for very long, and from the year 2011 to the year 2016, 2017 at most, I was a pretty avid Joe Rogan fan, right? So and I was like avid from the perspective of like seeing a lot of my own archetype in him, right? In the way he shows up in the world. And Joe Rogan is also a bold man, right? So in that way, a part of me wanted to be bold just because of that. Just because of that, right? And then watching his old content and seeing what he looked like with hair. And literally in my own mind being like, that's not the same person. And it technically isn't. It technically isn't, right? It's not even the same person remotely. And the hair has nothing to do with it even. And yet to some people it might, right? Like, and again, I've shared this with you friends. Whether or not I keep my hair is like kind of this beside the point. I'm going to like eventually get more and more ridiculous with the way I dress myself, and I do want to have headdresses, right? And I do want to have like a bunch of different wigs. Despite having this hair, I'll probably just like make it flat on my head and then put on a different do. I don't know why I want to do that, but it makes me feel like I'm like a customizable character, right? And I get to like slide these bars and then look completely differently. I think it's because of the spectacle, right? And again, that spectacle in me comes from a place of that's who I want to be, right? It's not who I am necessarily. It's not who I was like taught to be, but there's something in me that like yearns for the ridiculous in that way, right? And feeling the love that is had in my heart for my friends, despite the way they look, despite their moment to moment change. Like John for example. Seeing this guy in the mornings, and me too, right? Just so it's clear, seeing us in the mornings, like the hair, right, coming out of our rooms, it's kind of hilarious. Like we do not look good, not by any like measure of standard, but we are still beautiful in our own, like train wreck kind of ways. So yeah, love is true. Thank you for loving the hair, Gabadigu. Thank you, bro. It's one of those things, dude. It's one of those things. I wish it was easier. Kind of vibe. Melt queen for a day. Yeah. I've jokingly said that I think dresses look very comfortable. I don't know if a queen's dress would be. Bless you, bro. Again, that's wonderful. Go. Yep. It's been a couple of weeks that she was gone and she came back skinny, but she looks okay. Little kitty, my cat named Pig survived the fight and has returned. Bless. That's so freaking blessed. Jopo came into the stream one day and kind of like shared the bad news, and bad news was incorrect. And The cat named Pig is back. Bless her. I hope you get to feed her some good stuff. And I will be there for you when the day comes. When I dress ridiculously. Thank you, Jules. I think it's gonna be fun. Right? It's gonna be fun. And I hope some of you friends join me. Right? I'm pulling Duck Dad in right now as well. I'm giving Duck Dad a wig that's like an absolutely insane mohawk. Right? And then I'm giving him a massive battle axe. And I'm giving him a fit that's very warrior-esque. Right? His battle axe is like tipped off as a shovel. So he can do the whole I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole bit. We just rock up to a festival looking insanely ridiculous. Right? Like look like absolute characters from an alien world. Walking amongst the world. Walking amongst the purprints. What do you think of this fractal, John? Like today's stream topic is about knowing who we are and like being able to say like, oh, a name, and then you think you know who that is, right? And how we change.
Yes.
Like how even though Meltmore is who I am to myself right now, the Meltmore I am right now is completely different than the Meltmore I was as I started.
Yes, or then you will be in 10 years from
Exactly.
now.
And the fractal of like our aesthetics, our hair, our faces, our bodies, like the whole body dysmorphia thing.
Yeah.
Like I feel a little bit fat right now, and that makes me feel like less attractive to the world, right? Even though that might not be true to you in this moment, you might not even see that stuff. To me, to myself, it affects me in that way. And then, like the way my brain copes with that kind of like dissociation / association attachment to my own physical form. I want to go ridiculous and then have like wigs and stuff and like headdresses that I've shared with you.
Yeah.
Right? And how is that going to influence again the what people know about you? Will they know less about you? Will they want to know less or more about you? Will they be intimidated? Like, is that gonna be too much?
Yeah, the only input I have on this entire topic is that we are not our bodies. Our bodies are merely our vehicle we use to traverse the universe.
I'm happy that you're saying that, bro, because like that's literally the thing that I was trying to say.
Yeah. Like you
in
can
the
be
yoga as
like,
well.
oh, my car is kind of broken down. I need to go and fix it and stuff. And you can like work on it and you can fix it and stuff. But it's just a vehicle for you to interface with the world.
Exactly. Like a little decoration, bro.
Mm.
My favorite line from the Midnight Gospel is that this is like your snorkel.
That you're looking.
Yeah, your snorkel into this world
I don't
that
have
you're
any.
breathing with. I'm out here, but you can scrape a better.
Oh, sorry.
I feel a bit fat right now. Proceeds to touch his boobs.
Proceeds.
I can feel the fat.
It proceeds to
in
jiggle
my-
his.
Is it inappropriate? People are being like, yes, Mel. Wow.
Why?
I'm not touching your boobs. I'm touching mine.
There's no intent.
Don't you? Yeah, there's nothing about it. My mom just liked to call me an asshole. Oh, bro, me and you both, man. My mom's was like, I love you, but I don't like you right now. I just saw what you wrote. Shout is loving us. Blessings. We used to stay out of arm's reach of my mother when we were in trouble. I don't know, Mel. They look the same as always to me. Joy V inspects my boobs. Puts on glasses, squints eyes. Nope. They look fine. Thank you, Joy V. I mean, like I've gained at most like
Statistics.
8 pounds, which is not that much. But I wish those 8 pounds were musculars instead. Muscles. But I'm not eating enough protein to build muscle right now. Not quite. And I'm also not exercising, applying enough stimulus. Technically, so there's a double whammy on my part. We were fast kids. We were fast kids. Having to run away from your mom, dude. That's real. Joe, I used to stay out of reach of the wooden spoon. Melt, in case anybody didn't tell you today, those are some rockin' tits.
Mijn oma en,
Please.
mijn oma en mijn moe heeft al paplepels op mij gebreid.
Mine
As a
too.
kid, dus multiple.
Yeah, mine too. Like, and weirdly enough, when they were talking about running away from parents, my first thought was me running away from my grandma with a pop nipple.
Oh, you met my mom and grandma. I had no luck. There was no running.
There was no, you were
There
also
was
short.
no running.
I could run. Though.
There was no running for me.
I enjoyed running away, bro. Like literally every single time I was gonna get a beating, I ran. You think you can just fucking get a beating on me? Not a fucking chance. I'm gonna run for my life first. I'll make you heave. You'll heave. And then they try and then I get more beating because they're angry that I made them.
Did you make them run?
Yeah. But I still won. I'm still the winner. I didn't just roll over. Fine. Do not feel self-conscious about that statement. No, I know, bro. Like I was gonna lead into it more, but then John changed the topic. I'm just fucking with you because, like my mama said, I'm an asshole. No, I took that as a compliment, right? Like you were complimenting me, kind of. What is derogatory as like a verb? Derogatory.
You were derogatoring me.
Derogatoring me a little bit, and I was like, yeah, he's just being nice. So love is true, bro. Don't you worry. Well, the same dude. My grandmother never laid a hand on me. She was an angel, and now, well, she's probably also an angel. That's the way you said that, bro. Yossi. Doctor, thank you, bro. Love is true. All of us are angels, bro. None of us
The
used to
first,
be.
so I was 4 years old and we had this dog Lila. She was like a Washhund with like very very long ears, like ears sleeping on the floor type of long. And she had this habit of burying bones in anything. And the one day my mom comes back from work and me, a 4-year-old, and said dog is digging a hole and we're begraving all the paplepels. Anytime.
But you're like people are only getting like 50% of the story.
Me and the dog, like we were just burying the wooden spoons that my mom owned all over the garden.
That they would use to beat
Yeah,
them.
because we knew we had beatings and plans needed to be made.
Buries the wooden spoons.
Me and 4-year-old me and dog conspiring.
There you go. Let's help each other out. Was the dog also getting beatings of wooden spoons?
I don't even know.
Just imagining like the fractal of him being like, I get what's happening, bro. Or like you're just like putting spoons in the holes he was digging, and he was like digging with you, like, yeah, let's dig.
Yeah, that's
We're digging. Motherfucker. Nug Daddy Melt. Yeah, goddamn nugs. You wanna see this? I mean, one of them is big. Like this was the top nug of like a little. I probably shouldn't show you this stuff. I really shouldn't show you. This is, and I shouldn't even do that. But this is a piece of White Widow, White Wedding, and then this is a piece of the Mountain Buds. We had some Otto flowers, very like strawberry-esque. But yeah, my My little Miyagi on
Why
minutes.
shouldn't you have showed?
Because YouTube doesn't like it, bro.
Ah.
They're like, they do that, bro. Looks delicious. It really is, dude. This one, that white wedding, the one that's very like white, you know, in its coloration, is almost like licorice-esque. Like that you if you imagine mixing a bunch of like white icing with a little bit of licorice. That's kind of what this smells like. Tastes like. This is a nug of the mountain button. So there's gonna be a little bit of a mixy here. My grandma used to make me go out in front and get my own switch to beat me with. My own stick to beat me with. I better not bring back a spindly one. If she had to get the switch. Are you using that word correctly? Switch?
Maybe we're just not understanding the level of beatings. This man
Getting
was
beaten by a switch. I'm not like I live in the year 2024, so my mind is like seeing a Nintendo Switch being used as a
blunt force
a
weapon.
blunt force weapon. On probably not right. That's just
And why are
Like-
there outside?
smell that and see if you can smell that icing with like a little bit of licorice in it.
Mm.
Right?
But also very tanginess.
You
Over.
wanna stack yourself one?
Yo, that smells divine.
Mm, I have to get a switch herself to get double beatings.
Wow, that's used.
That's so fucked up. Didn't get double beatings, bro. I wish I knew John.
Hmm?
I wish I knew John to help me bury the wooden spoons. 4-year-old John was smarter than I was. Was the dog also getting wooden spoons? Beatings. Maybe you were just asking the wooden spoons. The dog was like, bro, I get it. I understand the objective.
Either the dog related or it just observed lots. Lots that was conspiring.
It's like, shit, bro, this kid needs help. Give me help. If nobody is coming to help, I need to help. Melt more. A switch is a stick used to hit the bottom with.
Okay.
That makes more sense. I'm using the word correctly.
It's a switch.
is a
Oh.
bush arm. You remove the leaves and get the. Oh, okay.
Shit.
It is kind of. I don't think it's like a sweep. It's more like a duck.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a solid thing because they say they de-leaf it.
Yeah.
Imagining it's like those clay
That's what
lots.
I'm saying.
Type
I
thing.
just said the word lot. Oh,
Clay.
and then you say clay lot. I'm like,
I heard stock.
did I say stop?
Yes. So stock to me means it has sustenance,
It
like
has
a dry piece of
Okay.
wood.
Yeah, it's like a flexible piece with like it can curl around the buttocks kind of vibe. I get it. If you had to go fetch a switch, we were gonna cross the yard and over the fence. Thank you for teaching me new words, Joy. Bye, you group of switchables. Love you, Shell. Thank you for not repeating old patterns. We got the fly swatter. I think fly swatter is
That's easy
better.
mode.
Yeah,
I
fly
wish.
swatter.
Can we swap with?
I think fly swatter doesn't have that much weight to it, bro. Like for me, the worst beatings I ever got was belts. Oh, belts fucking hard. Oh, like
My mom tried some MMA shit on me, so I don't know what to tell you. She was
that's not funny. I
experimenting.
should not laugh like that, dude.
Like
Just the way
literally,
you
when
said
I
it.
was 16, she tried to punch me with the face. I caught her hand. She tried to punch me with the other fist. I caught her hand. She looked at me. She pulled me closer by the arms and hit me with the head and broke my nose.
What did you do to deserve that, though?
I was being very brave, but I was, in my defense, trying to stand up for myself against another individual. It was a big fight between me and other individual. Other individual got parents involved. parents. Anger towards me, no do nothing wrong.
How fucking dare you? Yeah, I think defend yourself. I'm sorry you had to go through that, bro. It wasn't a confusing mindfuck at all when my parents would break wooden spoons over my ass and then hug me. Tell me they love me afterwards. Yeah. Like, that's one of the things that I've shared a few times now, bro. Is the fact that getting beat by your parents is a fundamentally, I want to say, almost evil thing, right? Because your parents, to you as a new entity in this world, are the sole source of safety in your life, right? And then this sole source of safety hurts you.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Hurts you more than you've been hurt ever.
But any
by
external sources.
anything in this life. Alright? That is a mindfuck.
Excessive, yeah.
That is a mindfuck. Like, that cannot be anything other than a mindfuck. And then, as you said, then directly afterwards, it's this like, oh no, but we're doing this because we love you. No, you're doing this because you're immature. Like, imagine if we fucking try to solve our problems as adults that way, bro. Someone does something you don't like.
Come back, say some business.
Someone does something you don't like as an adult, you're like, go and fetch a switch. You fucking pull them over your work desk. Not like that. And you give them beatings.
The adult version is way cursed.
Yeah, the adult version is different, bro. Of course. Jesse, dude. Like, how is that ever okay? Is anyone getting symphony? Ouches of all the jokes, though. Having a beautiful little child makes me wonder how anyone hits children. Immature people hit children, bro. People that don't know how to deal with their own emotions. People that don't know how to deal with anything at all, and now have children.
Or people who
to
just
deal with.
never took up their true calling as an MMA fighter.
Practices, bro. This is the easiest opponent. It's so fun. Why? No, stop. Lois. Me and my sister once hit the belt because we knew we were getting in trouble. We got in bigger trouble. My mom headbutted you and broke your nose. Damn, I thought I had it. John is setting undisputed. I was like, the worst time for me was with my dad in the belt. And he goes, bro, my mom MMA'd me. Dude, so to give you context, my ass was, I had like bruises on it for 6 weeks.
Jealousy.
For 6 weeks afterwards, still, dude.
Again, so you got the good old Christian belt.
Yeah, it was like literally like you could, the actual belt mark had like blood blisters.
On the edge.
On the edges, where it was like literally like bursting vessels underneath my skin. And then like that line, those lines were the ones that lasted the longest. And then the external bruise was extending like that far from the belt lines, dude. Yeah.
That's insane.
I fucking sent my dad photos, progress photos, for 6 weeks of my ass recovering, dude. Yeah, on purpose, of course. I'm like, look at this. And then again, look at this. He doesn't get any other messages from me. He just gets pictures of my ass and the damage he did. So I fucking milked that shit, of course. Of course.
That's so funny.
But that still happened, bro. And you know what I got that beating for? Getting 36% for EBV. I needed to get more percent for EBV to not get
Which
it.
is accounting.
Yeah.
Which in our fractal we can literally get someone to do like this.
Someone that wants to do that can do that for us. Yeah.
It's like, all humans need it. Learn.
You need to EBV. Ekonomische besigheid is
Wetenschap.
Ekonomische wetenschap.
Ja.
Economische
Besigheid.
bezigheidswetenschap, ja. fucking stupid.
Ek dink dit was toe ons in laerskool was dit nog net besigheidswetenskap gewees.
Ja, en toe is dit ekonomiese besigheidwetenskap. Okay. My daughter makes me so fucking mad, but I couldn't imagine laying a hand on her. How can people do it? My favorite line when Louise glues Bob to the toilet seat in Bob's Burgers is, Louise, what are you doing? If a customer sat down, they could sue you. I'm your dad. I kind of want to sue you right now. They didn't do it out of evil intent, but they were damaged by the cycle of their parents doing it to them and their parents before them, blah, blah, blah. And I agree with that, Gab. And I wasn't calling our parents evil.
Yeah, no,
I
it's a
was just-
generation.
Yeah, I was calling that like mindset of like, yes, beat your children into submission. That is evil. But because of our conditioning, because of our society and the way that things have been, the status quo, the business as usual, that's why we're in the spot we're in right now. And we are as a generation breaking those patterns actively. And I'm proud of you, Gabaliku, for being one of those pattern breakers. I'm getting a little teared up. I remember getting it as a 5-year-old, and now I wonder what I did to deserve it. I'm sure I was at least mildly adorable. I was a little bit bad, you know, because like again, it's like a fractal of like you as a parent don't want to worry about your child, and the world is dangerous, and there are cars rushing by, and your child just wandering out into the world can get them killed, and the thought of you losing your child to their own hubris would make me very angry as well, and that leads to people. That's one of the reasons I got beat the most. Did you hear? I would just fucking disappear.
My body was shouting for liquids.
That's fine. I would just disappear. I would like run out. I would go outside, you know, have fun outside, like just explore. I would like walk
Hilda.
amongst the house, like fucking Hilda, dude. Legit. I also built bombs, which maybe it's not something Hilda did. My very first explosive experience was putting a you know those little vials they put colorant in.
Okay, yes.
You know, like if you make cookies, you like color
Yeah.
it, those small little vials.
Yes.
So I made like a little fire in the woods, and then I put this vial in between the coals, and then I add distance between me
And said vial.
said vial. Because even at that age, I understood pressure. I don't understand how, and it was like I was like 4 or 5 at this point, bro. And then that thing goes whop.
We have information in our in our DNA. That's the thing.
There's part of me that knew stuff that I was not supposed to know. And
there's
then,
so much.
and then that thing explodes, bro. It sends coals, the rocks I had around the little fireplace. It sends everything like, and I'm like,
I need make bigger of this.
that intrum string. I never went bigger than that size vials, bro. Weirdly enough, I would just find more of those vials because I was like, again, yes, controlled explosives. I understand exactly how much power I can expect from this thing.
At least you didn't go straight up Oppenheimer.
No.
After the vial.
There's
Go
no
like,
way.
oh, nuclear bomb.
And you start building nukes. No. I mean, technically, if I had access to the right materials, my mind would 100% be like, "Yep, this is the next viable option." All of this nuclear waste that I can concentrate on. All of these shaped explosive laying around, you know, might as well. Oh, no, stop. As much as I continue getting mildly adorable, I was feeling alone in this fractal, but hearing all of these stories more common than I realized, especially for our generation, bro. As much as I like to, and their generations before as well. Especially as much as I like to continue the conversation. I love you all, but it's raining cats and dogs at the moment. Bless you, bro. Have a good time with the rain. Just listen to the shush. Duck Dad may be goofy, but he's mature enough not to assault his child. Love that about you, bro. Les. That is love. That is love. A lot of great comedian material comes from the nuance of trauma. I can definitely believe that. Yeah. I mean, we basically like as a instant response, like start making jokes about our traumatic experiences as well. And, like, just start poking fun at ourselves. They didn't know how to regulate their emotions. They regulated them by taking it out on our asses. Yeah, that immaturity is what I was trying to say as well. I have similar stories. Moms that have control issues and are able to fight are pretty intense to grow up around. Dang, I got spanked and later grounded. Yeah, no, I got like beat right from the get-go. And then, like, weirdly enough, I think the last beating I ever got was that one. The one of the photos, dude. That was the last ever beating.
Sending updates.
Sending the
every
updates.
day. Look my ass.
Look at this. Remember this? Like a tangible reminder, bro. Because again, this is my reality. I'm in the hostel.
Someone here.
It's a
It's
shower.
only a shot.
I'm in the hostel, dude. I shower with other guys. I have fucking dudes asking questions, bro. Like, what the fuck happened to you, bro? And I'm like, I have to fucking tell them this story.
No.
Oh, goodness. What is this world? What did I do? Jeez. Gets born into existence. Gets traumatized. Oh, wait, get ready. Get ready for a ride. The ride of your life. The ride that is your life. Is your mom still coming?
Yes, she's just gonna stop by the shops.
Okay. Oh. Risking a wet phone to say this, but I'm paying an extra $1,000 to stop my daughter from feeling like we destroyed her at the dentist when it's supposed to be a place of healing. Bless, bro. That's probably going to help for the rest of her life, bro. For that experience to be less traumatizing. Seriously. He has the option to pay $1,000 less for his daughter's treatment. That means she doesn't have anesthetics. for dental work. Hi,
Oh,
Danny.
no.
Hi, Shanae.
Hello.
Yeah, so he's not opting for that option, fortunately. John probably didn't hear what I said, but love you, bro. Bless you. Bless your little one. And much like John, I laugh about these stories as well. It's not humorous in a way, but it seems to be my reaction to that kind of fractal that no longer exists. Maybe the laughter is just an expression of joy that is no longer painful. Yeah, laughter is kind of like after the fact, almost like you taking back how you choose to feel about that experience, right? Instead of it being something you think about and then brings you down in your emotional and spiritual body, you laugh about it, lifting yourself up, showing yourself how far you've come, how much you've lifted yourself up despite those heavy experiences you've been through. Me goofy and mature enough not to love is true again. I sent my dad photos of my recovering ass. Melt, you are a goddamn champion. I just realized the amount of power we have as beings, you know, and you can use your power to influence the world. Alright, and if you want to use your power to beat your child's ass, your child can use his power to make you feel like an absolute dickhead about it for weeks. It's so funny. Get busy or get crying, pretty much. Let me see. Is Joe's the last comment I see? Or am I stuck again? No, that's right. I think it's time for me to pull a card. Oh. Let's see what Sacred Geometry has to say. You wanna play some music?
I don't mind. You can play music.
No.
I don't have any music album.
I-
Oh, you mean
Yeah, thank you.
instruments play?
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
We are the ones that play the music.
Yes.
Not using devices, but using
Mm.
our minds. Joy V did ask like a while ago,
Yes.
and we've been busy since.
Yeah.
So we can make an effort. This one right here. Today's stream topic was about knowing, right?
Mm.
About like the question I had in my title or my thumbnail is, do you know me? Do you know me? And then I started the fractal of like, do I know me? Do I know me? And then I mentioned a few things, right? Like my knowing of myself is very related to my relationship with others.
Yeah.
How I make people feel, how people respond to my work. Like it's kind of like attached to that. When I think of myself kind of vibe, right? And the card we pulled is kind of an infinity symbol, right? That's and there's literally like hands that go all the way around as that infinity symbol.
That's really cool.
It's called Above the Storm. I feel it's very appropriate for our stream topic today. Music! Joy V with a smiley face. Yeah. Do you have anything you want to play, or are we just going to
We can just play. I just. Yeah.
just put it on random? Hit like random button, and then until we're like, yes, good.
Yes.
All right, one more time.
I'm gonna fish and stuff.
Car number 56. There's the infinity symbol again. Dynamic action and clarity. Thank you, John. This is a card of dynamic action and fresh starts. A funnel cloud spins and bolts of lightning flash in the dark swirling clouds. Above the storm, clear, light radiates from crystal geometry. A figure 8 or Mobius strip composed of hands weave around the scene, uniting turbulence and radiance. The Mobius strip is a symbol of single-sided non-duality, linking darkness with clarity. Every human life has times of turmoil and unrest, times when storm clouds seem to close in and conditions become challenging. You may be experiencing such a time when sparks fly and tempests rage, or it may be that someone you love is going through a crisis. Tough times come and go, and it's important to remember the truth in the old saying, it is darkest before the light. Whether it is your own storm or that of a friend's, this card asks you to move beyond difficult times with ease, grace, and tenderness. Consciously witness what is occurring. Step out of the drama and view the turbulence with the eyes of an observer. Act in support of the decisions that need to be made to move the dynamic action to a place above the storm, where clarity and light may overcome all obstacles. Use the Mobius strip to help you visualize how energy moves through times of dynamic action into the light. Envision crystal clarity as the outcome and give thanks to your ability to weather the storm and find a fresh start. I should almost read that card to
Yeah.
to her as well. Tani Michelle. Alrighty. I'm putting my ring down and then I'm sitting on my drum. I'm sitting on my drum, John. If your friends haven't seen it, maybe I shouldn't recommend they watch this show. It might be a bit much. There's the show called Anti-Donas. It is quite an experience. I think in the third episode, they have like a skit of two Afrikaans guys, and they really lie on thick when there's Afrikaans accenting. All right, let me add some more legs.
And neither of them are even Afrikaans.
Neither of them are Afrikaans. Yeah, that's the best part, I think.
Okay, better. Oh, hello. Yes,
Very nice.
we'll make some cuts.
I had fun. I'm gonna take a sip of water.
Vote.
That sounds nice. That sounds good.
Ah, I remember.
Waves of crowds. One more push.
Yes.
One more channeling from the universe. Starts up the whole method again. Yeah. Thank you, John. That was awesome, bro. Thank you for the love-its as well, man. It was so nice having you friends here with us today. Music has been made. I just got a little bit of a kiss. You see that spot that's a little bit discolored? Just got a little bit of. This is nice, Uncle Becky. What a blessing seeing your name here amongst us. Melty, thank you, brother. Thank you, bro. Max is a new character for me. Max has been like family. He's been living with me since February. He doesn't join that much for streams, but he is a very special part of our existences. Yes, I think I missed a lot of them. Okay, I think I'm close, too close. Has Max been there the entire time, silently laying on the bench, wrapped in a blanket? He has. Wish I could be there more. Night shift got me like, I get it. You're loved. Thank you for showing up in the moments that you do. That is what we appreciate. I've heard of Max, but you don't know Max.
Max the elusive one.
The elusive Max. Me getting like super dramatic lighting as well. In a world where there's a Max. I like calling him Maximum. It's so fun. Maximum.
Max.
Alright. Melty. They all live together, but Max is never on screen. Like never on screen. Yeah. I did get like a little bit of like a piece of Max on screen. I mean, he's been on stream for like
He was
the stream, the
for
Wii
a
stream.
time.
Oh, it's also true.
He has been on it sometimes.
It's just like different people respond differently to the camera, right? Not everybody like the way they respond to the camera. And it's like it is something that you have to work with inside yourself. And fortunately, he has a person in his life that demystifies that experience a little bit.
Mm.
Right? It's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
Realistically speaking. It's just being person. Mel says he's gonna take a sip of water. He really meant a sip of Dynamax.
You don't know me?
You don't know me.
Do you know me? The stream topic.
Seems Joy V might know something. And you know what's the best part, John? I literally was watching myself being completely out of camera frame, and then I intentionally like blew my last puff like into the frame where you can clearly see the puff just like extending into the space. Just to like add the whole taking a sip of water, some sip of water fractal, you know, the ambience. No, actually I was just like hyper condensing the water and spitting out vapors.
That's more disturbing.
It would be actually. I just go.
So what are you just
Yeah.
trying becomes steam
It
clouds?
becomes vapor. It's like you need to stop doing that, Mel, please.
We don't appreciate
They
it.
don't appreciate when you do that. Your efforts and contributions to this world are greatly appreciated. Oh, Joe, thank you for lending me your eyes and your ears, so that they may be loved and appreciated, as they deserve to be. This place is like an oasis in a wasteland, happy corner of the world. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad to drop in for a second. For the music, love you. Thank you for joining us. It's nice to sit and have a coffee with you all. Thanks, guys. I filled mine with whoop cream this morning. Whoop, whoop, whoop cream.
Whooped.
Whoop that cream. No, there's our goodbye message as well. Talent Joe.
Normal
Thank
people
you.
whipping their cream.
Whoops my cream. Whoop. Like WHOOP's my creams. I need to stop saying those words. Have the most beautifulest day, everyone. You are. Like all caps ARER. So very super duper alpha omega alta extra seriously sanctified. Marvelous Meltmore. Thank you. And all of you are so intelligently inquisitive, curiously courageous, enthrallingly engaging, outstandingly observant, wisely watchful, hypothetically heartful, authentically, hypnotically heartful, authentically wholesome. I was like, hypothetically is not the right word. Like, reads again. Nope, not hypothetically. My mind reads first letter and last letter. Didn't have to like try and. Sometimes I build wrong. Hypnotically heartfelt, authentically wholesome humanimal critter creatures, knowing who we've been and learning who we're becoming. That's a great goodbye message. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, friends, for joining me, for sharing your love and your time, your eyes and your ears. Say thank you to John for playing a guitar and joining us for conversations. And I'll see you, friends, again soon. Tomorrow. Love yous. Thank you, and goodbye. Cheers, friends.